Doch vielleicht geschehen noch Wunder. Der Feldzug ist noch nicht zu Ende. Das Frühjahr kommt.
I think people are intelligent. And looking at places who are intelligent, they understand them and understand too that it's not destiny, a deity or kings who have the absolute power to change their life. Looking at small people like we do, like we play them in our theater, maybe they learn a little bit to behave like thinking human beings.
This was the essence of the theater of Bertolt Brecht. He didn't design plays to entertain passive spectators. His plays were designed to challenge the audience, to challenge them to think and to see possibilities for change. This was what Brecht liked to call dialectical theater. Brecht's wife, Helene Weigel, was the actress who gave the definitive performance of Mother Courage. From 1949, she ran the Berliner Ensemble, the theater company where Brecht directed his most famous productions.
Brecht didn't want that the actors came with the parts rehearsed to the rehearsals. We started with the books and had a long time our books in our hands, not learning our parts by heart. And he begged us, please be careful. Remember every point where you, in reading, was astonished what you read. On the same point, this was Brecht's opinion, the audience will be astonished. But don't throw this point away. Please don't make theories short.
Brecht wanted the audience to maintain a critical distance to what was happening on stage. This distance was a key element of the dialectical relationship between actors and audience. It's often termed alienation. A director at the Berliner Ensemble explained the term in an interview which he gave a few years after the playwright's death. Karl Weber.
Alienation means the event on the stage should be made remarkable as something special, not usual, not completely normal, something which can be watched, can be judged, and could be changed if people on stage in a given situation would behave otherwise, for instance, as they behave in the play. And the audience should be able to make this judgment and to see the possibilities of a changement of the given situation. Normally people tend, if they're in theater, to watch people on stage, the actors on stage, and to watch the events on the stage as normal life. They tend to get involved as they would get involved in normal life and tend to let themselves be drawn away by the action. We try of every scene, sometimes 20 or 30 different variations of moving the people in the scene, of grouping the people in the scene. We do that to get in the end an arrangement, as we call it in German, or plotting, which tells the story by itself already to a certain degree. So an ideal arrangement would tell the story to that extent that, for instance, if you put down a glass wall between the audience and the stage, and people wouldn't understand a word of the actors, they still should be able to get the story in rough outlines, what happened on stage.
Ich werde sie schon tragen. Das wird alles noch anders werden.
You artists who, for joy or for sorrow, hand over yourselves to the judgment of the audience, be moved from now on to hand over to the judgment of the audience the world which you depict.
Brecht wasn't trying to pretend that what he put on stage was like real life. He was not concerned, for example, that a scene in Galileo in a Renaissance palace had to take place in a believable imitation of such a palace. He wanted his audience to remain aware of what was really happening, that they were watching a play, and he was clear about how he wanted his spectator to react.
the spectator says. That's extraordinary. Hardly believable. It's got to stop. The sufferings of this man appall me, because they're unnecessary. I laugh when they weep. I weep when they laugh.
Professor Hans Meyer taught literature at the University of Leipzig and later in Hanover. He first met Brecht in the early 1930s. Like the playwright, he spent the Nazi years in exile, and he was present at the initial production of Mother Courage in Zurich in 1941. He worked together with Brecht during the late 40s and early 50s, and also saw the first production of Mother Courage in Germany, in post-war Berlin.
I think we can say that this first performance at the Deutsche Theater was the beginning of a new epoch of German theater and of what Brecht has called eine neue Zuschaukunst, the art of being a spectator. His theory was everything has to be changed in the problems concerning drama, dramatists, staging, directing, and expecting a performance and reacting after a performance. He calls it a new theory of drama, a new theory of staging, and a new form to be learned, a new form to be a spectator. Eine neue Zuschaukunst. The art of being a spectator of a new way, of a new style.
Brecht didn't believe that his written manuscript should be regarded as finished. His finished product was the play as it was performed on stage. He would frequently alter his scripts to provoke the desired reactions. The proof of the pudding was an expression of which Brecht was very fond. In Brecht's eyes, the proof of the pudding lay in the audience response.